What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into something. Lad Bible TV, old soldier meets young soldier. Listen, this is intriguing as hell to me because I view the older soldiers as warriors, big shoes to fill. 100% different kind of war, a war that I definitely wouldn't want to be a part of. I don't know. It was a different kind of tactics, a different kind of fighting, different kind of terrain, different everything. People hiding in holes, people popping up out of. Yeah, like it depends on which war you're in. Like if you're going all the way back to World Wars, that was some serious next level shit that I definitely, literally, like I'm thankful that I didn't participate in that war. Let's jump in. Let's check it out together. Let's see what we got. If you guys enjoy it, make sure you get over and show Lad Bible TV some love. We're already subbed up. We're already smashing the like button because anything military related, you know, we're all about. Definitely shout out to all my military veterans and men and women in service around the world. You guys are most certainly appreciated and always thought of. Remember, everyone deployed. I definitely think of you on the daily. Let's see what we got. Old soldier meets young soldier.
We deployed in Iraq to Iraq
Let me make sure we got full sound now. All right.
in 2006. We then deployed to Kosovo. From there, we then deployed to Afghanistan.
Well, you've been through quite a lot, son, haven't you?
Oh. For someone.
Hello, young man.
Nice to meet
How are you?
Pleasure. How you been? You okay?
Not so bad. Yourself?
On the spot.
On the spot.
There's a stack of them here, isn't there?
All right.
Which war did you fight in?
Second World War.
Oh, yeah, that's way
My
back.
flotilla was the third flotilla, and there was 12 of us. And we took part in the North African campaign, and then we went on to the invasion of Sicily.
How long were you away for?
2 years. In them days, it was a different war. You had to go where you were sent, and some lads went to North Africa and went right through and never got home till way after D-Day. The other wars that followed this, it's an entirely different war than what ours was.
I think it goes through generations, doesn't it? It goes from one war to another.
It's frightening to see what happens to these modern wars. You're fighting an enemy you do not know where he is for a start. Like in our war, as long as you were going forward, you were going the right way. But you get in Afghanistan and that, he can come up behind you and you don't know he's there. And from my way of thinking, I wouldn't like to have fought in that war, I'll be honest with you.
See,
That's so bizarre to hear them say that they wouldn't have wanted to fight in our war. It might just go to show the respect that we definitely have for each other. Like, I don't know. We think of those people, those World War I, World War II vets, huge shoes, big titans among men. Like, that's how I see them. That's how I've always seen them. I got mad respect for anybody that fought in those wars. So to hear somebody from those wars say that they wouldn't have wanted to fight in the war that I was in, that's, I don't know, it kind of smashes my heart a little
that's where I
bit.
think the two changed because I wouldn't like to fight in your war.
Yeah,
Because in my eyes,
no.
Being on a ship.
It's probably safer on a ship, so I can't swim, so...
You can't swim. I thought you were a sailor.
And they never taught me. But where would you swim to?
I mean, big facts.
If you're a long way from home, it don't matter whether you could swim or not.
After training, I got to battalion, and then we deployed to Belize.
Yeah.
We went for 6 weeks in the jungle, training, and that was pre-training for Iraq. We deployed in Iraq to Iraq in 2006. Yeah, 2006. That was a 6-month tour, turned into a 7-month tour, and we were deployed to Saddam's palace in Basra South, where we patrolled and did strike ops. After there, we come back. I went on to do my promotion. We then deployed to Kosovo. That was peacekeeping. And then from there, we then deployed to Afghanistan, to Haptic 10. So completely different operations altogether, from
100%.
armoured to foot.
Well, you've been through quite a lot, son, haven't you? What are your feelings towards the enemy now in comparison to at the time. That's a good one, that.
At the time, I didn't, it's weird because I'm going to probably stand out here, is I didn't have any hate for them. I believed that we were fighting in someone else's country and they were defending it in a way. But I think that's one of the other reasons why I left, because I didn't believe in it in the end. I think I fought that hard and I was fighting an enemy so much that I was equal to them. If someone can fight, if someone can get a number of men in front of me and fight me and my men to the extreme that they were fighting us, then hat off to them. What about yourself?
Well, we fought the Germans to win the war. That's what was bred into you. And it took me until about 1970 before I could really, see me way clear. I have nothing against them now. It took me all that time to realize they were the same as us, doing what they had to do.
Have you ever fired a weapon?
Yes, sir.
Real quick before we move on to that answer, it's a definite hard one. For me, it took a long time. Listen, I wasn't out there on fire teams kicking in doors. No, I was on a different side of things. I was on the logistics side. I was on the side that received back our equipment after it got blown up. And it would come back to us with me knowing, because there's no mistaking the smell or the sight of teeth and fingernails, knowing that my brothers and sisters had died inside of this vehicle. It wasn't even the enemy that I was digging through, but it gave me a burning hatred for a long time. That, and to see kids, with third-degree burns up to their knees in the hospital because mom and dad got angry with them and dipped them in some boiling water. That's not normal. For a long time, I couldn't do anything but hate. A long time. And then I realized that, hey, a lot of it is just misinterpretation. A lot of it is the fact that these people don't have any kind of literacy. They don't read, they don't write. They sign their signatures as an X. They go to a place and they listen to somebody who tells them all these bad things, and they have no way to kind of counter it. It's people that live a different way than us, but most certainly are people that we kind of underestimated. It took me years after Afghanistan, years for me to trust anybody who was of the Muslim faith. Now I'm thankful that I have Muslim friends, because I learned that they're not all the same as the people that was there. And even the people that I was there against were doing it for a reason. It's the same damn Hunger Games that we were doing it for. They drop you and they tell you, hey, someone's going to try to kill you. So you got to kill them first. And then that's how it starts, and that's how it goes on. And then you get filled with all kinds of hate. But I could definitely see it taking years for somebody back there in that war to kind of get over their hatred and get over their just kind of loathing of somebody else.
Us doing what they had to do.
Have you ever fired a weapon?
Yes, on the landing craft I was an anti-aircraft gunner. We had 6 Oerlikons and a 12-pounder on her. So I fired that many times through the war. It's a different thing. It's not like firing a rifle. No, like a soldier has to rely on a rifle, doesn't he? Yeah. Like I had to rely on me anti-aircraft gun. Whenever you're in imminent danger, you're called to action stations. And if the planes come at you, then you have to fight back. And on the Oerlikon, you had a shield, which you look through the gap, so to speak. It always gave you that feeling that it couldn't hit you, which was a silly way of thinking, but it gave you a bit of feeling of comfort, if you know what I mean.
See, with us, we were just rifles. Rifles, and we had GPMGs, which was 7.62 belt fed, which that most of them...
Would you be lost without your rifle or your gun, wouldn't you? Yeah. On the deck.
Afghan had a section, so I had a section of 8 lads, and very, very good lads as well. We would get in 360 ambushes, so we'd get hit by an IED, so you'd have someone from the front, right, left, they're coming from the top of the compound, and they basically just spraying you with rapid fire with 7.62. Once you got into the firefight, you could never tell what was going to happen, but you always knew it was going to be like a well-oiled machine, the way your SOPs kick into place, the way you know your lads would, they just knew, because of the amount of training you did, we knew exactly what we were doing.
How do you think soldiers are viewed in society?
Wow.
It all depends how the media portrays us. I remember going back, when we were coming back from Iraq, we landed in Teesside, and we had groups of people that weren't happy that we were there, and they were British people, because the media portrayed us as killers, as murderers. Flipping the coin, when we come back from Afghan, we were portrayed as heroes, so the whole country rejoiced to go, oh, save our heroes. Obviously, your generation, you were
well,
classed as
I
heroes.
think the war had lasted so long with that they were glad to see the people back home. Yeah. And I think most soldiers and sailors, any serviceman, was looked upon, they say thank you to them for getting their freedom in one way. Yeah. They were glad to see the war over. I can understand the difference now. It's a different generation, and but
it's a different war, isn't it?
Well, you find it, I know.
When you're in a war zone, and as you know, you've got that constant stress above your head of what's next, and you're constantly on high alert, and you're constantly irate. It only takes one person to look at you, and you're ready to fight straight away. Hence why when soldiers come back home, someone looks at you the wrong way, you're already in fight mode. It's been 12 years, I'm still in fight mode now. I don't think I'll ever change that.
If you're fighting a war, it's them or us, so to speak. And
that's what
my
it
way
comes
of
down
thinking.
to.
And so let it be.
That's it. But when I was out there, it was my lads. My lads are coming home, no matter what. I don't care who you are, my lads are coming home.
Have you ever lost a member of your company?
It's I want to answer it, but I don't at the same time, because we've lost quite a lot of lads from our battalion, of our regiment. I say regiment because it's 1 RGJ and 2 RGJ. Today is the 10th anniversary for a lad we lost called Paul McAleese. He was my screw. We lost him 10 years today. We've lost quite a lot. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Like, don't want to go too much into it. Like, have you ever suffered a serious injury?
I've only had a backflash from the gun, which sometimes with an Orlikin, after it gets hot, thing sort of blows and you get a flash, but nothing serious.
Apart from like a few broken sprains and broken wrists and stuff like that, and major one would be probably mentally. And this is, as you know, it's a massive epidemic that's going through the military at the moment, for veterans and for still serving, is mental health. The past 13 years, I've really suffered, like really suffered. But I've sort of like battered it backwards and kept moving forward, do you know what I mean? Always kept moving forward.
That's all we can do.
Age now, I've got to the age where it's like, well, I've got my family and all that. It's like, I've got to stay straight, you know what I mean? But it creeps back a lot. It does creep back a lot. I think having my daughter is kicked me up the arse quite hard, like, you know what I mean? But I think if it didn't, I'd probably still be like that, you know what I mean? It's but I know a lot of lads, a lot of girls, a lot of soldiers are suffering. Do you miss the forces?
Oh wow,
Oof,
every day.
That's a good question. No, I don't think I missed it. I was away about 4.5 years. I served, and I was glad to get out. And no, that's my answer to that. I don't know about yourself.
No. A lot of the lads, their issue with it, they say, oh yeah, I missed the army, I wish I'd go back. I think what it is regimented. They're regimented in such a routine where that is your life, and you do that for 3 to 7 to 22 years. Well, I left, and it was like, oh, I'm struggling here. But it was because it was the unknown. It's I don't miss it. I miss the lads, and I miss
camaraderie.
Yeah,
The camaraderie. I knew before they even said it, they were going to say something about the camaraderie. I miss it daily. I miss the people. I served among some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. People from all walks of life. People from all over the damn world, to include other countries that decided that they wanted to be Marines, that decided that they wanted to be soldiers and airmen and sailors. Like that, once you make that decision, you're a rare breed. You're a rare kind of a person. There's more reasons to never ever join the military than there ever would be to join it. I miss that. I don't miss the bullshit. I don't miss the bureaucratic stuff. I don't miss the politics. I miss the people. I miss the experiences for sure. And I miss the scheduled, regular, rinse and repeat kind of life. You get used to things. You get used to things being a certain way. And then once you go back out into civilian life, it's 100% what he said. It's the unknown. It's like jumping back into something where nobody else in the world relates to the things that you've been through except for vets. Or where you don't feel comfortable talking to anybody about the things that you've seen because you don't want to break anybody that hasn't been over there and seen it already. I don't know. Definitely miss the camaraderie. 100%.
It's I don't miss it. I miss the lads and
the camaraderie.
Yeah, I miss that.
That's about the only thing you miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong, I miss firefights, believe it or not. I miss getting to firefights. I miss handling.
Adrenaline.
I miss teaching it.
Being shot at.
Replaced by anything. You know what I mean? If you find another passion, another love in life, you replace it with that. You know what I mean? Is there anything you regret about your service?
Not really. Through the years, I am proud to have been a part of it. It took all my youth. If I hadn't have been there, I'd have missed quite a lot. And no, I don't regret it one bit.
I don't think I regret it because it's like I said, it's what I've gained from it. You know what I mean? Mentally, it's been mentally draining once I've got out, but at the same time, it's strengthening at the same time. So where something's suffering, someone else is strengthening. You know what I mean? So I'm becoming a better person.
Why you want to tell your story? From my point of view, it may be to help the younger generation. They don't know about your war. They don't know about my war. And by coming on this sort of thing, people watch it and they realise it's part of history. I would think so, or I hope so.
Well, with me, it's like for 10 years after getting out, I suffered and I went into a dark place and I kept it to myself. And every time someone mentioned the military or something like that, I'd switch off and walk away. Didn't want to know. And I'm still a little bit like that now. But since this year, I've started a new project. I've been talking about my career and my story, my mental health and my fight and struggle and all that carry on. It's actually helping me.
Talking about it helps 100%.
There could be someone sat in a dark room right now who hasn't left the house for 2 weeks, and they're just they're scrolling the phone. They come across Lad Bible. They listen to this. They listen to me and you, and they go, "I've been through that. I've seen this, or that's worse for me, or that's not as worse for me." And if they stand up and they walk out the front door and they give it a go, then we save one. Then it is worth it. So that's why I talk about my story now. And
well, I wouldn't have known your story if I hadn't have listened to it here, would I? I've learned a lot from you, and I hope our little talk today has helped in that way.
I think it will. Not just the younger generation. I think the eldest as well. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, son.
Thank you.
Absolutely a beautiful video. Definitely hits you in the feels at certain points. I have a lot of respect for that older war generation, any older war generation. But I would have never thought that they didn't want to serve in our war either. Like, that's awesome to me, that neither one of us would have walked in the other one's shoes or would have wanted to. Probably would have if we had to. Because we're definitely a rare type of people. Shout out to all my men and women in uniform around the world, no matter where you're serving, no matter what country you're in, you got my respect 100%. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button if you disliked it. Get over, show Lad Bible TV some love. Right there inside of the description is the links. Check out the other video over there. Until the next one, highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. Love you to the moon and back. Peace.